What's up guys, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. We sold our home last month, so let's talk about what it was like to sell a home in 2023. Okay, first of all, selling a home, would not recommend. Very stressful. Buying and selling is just a super stressful process. Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest transactions most people will do in their lifetime. So when you're doing this multi-six-figure deal, it is very stressful, and not only that, you are moving at the same time. So for those reasons and other ones, we decided to not try to buy and sell at the same time. We sold our home and moved into an apartment. We are renting for now and not even ready to think about going through the process of buying a home for quite a while after the experience of selling. Now, I don't know that it has to be that stressful for everyone, but I think there is definitely some stress associated with it, like I said, because the stakes are so high doing this big deal. But for us, we also have two small children, so between preparing the home to show it and for pictures and getting out of the home at certain times for showings and keeping it really clean, it was a lot and it was very tiring on top of being tired from having small children. So in this video, I'm going to talk about from start to finish what the process was like for us and then answer some of your questions that you guys sent me on Instagram. So when we decided to sell our house, we knew we wanted to work with a realtor. There were two things that we felt a realtor would bring to the table. First is just the logistics, you know, doing the showings, being in contact with all the different parties, having the paperwork for the different things that need to be signed, knowing what needs to be signed at the different stages and the timing of all that. Now I am an attorney, so I have kind of seen from the back end how real estate deals go, but it was not my area of expertise in any way, shape, or form. So I don't practice anymore, but when I did, I really stayed in my lane and became a deep expert in one area. And so I really didn't feel comfortable that I had the knowledge to represent us for the real estate deal. And like I said, we have young children and it's just a logistical nightmare to try to do anything while you have young kids. So I felt like it was really going to bring a lot of value to have somebody to handle all that and also just give us like best practices and tips on what money to put into the place that's going to get us more money out of it and where not to spend our money. The second thing that I thought they bring to the table is on setting the price and doing a market valuation. So I had an idea of what I thought we should list it for, and then our realtor came back with a different number and we kind of like talked about it so I could understand where they were coming from. Now I will say, you know, hindsight is 2020. It was a weird time when we were selling our home because interest rates had gone up a lot. And so it was kind of unclear as to how that was going to affect prices. And I think it's done different things in different parts of the country. But our realtor was of the mindset that the increased interest rates were suppressing prices. And so we listed our house a little lower than I initially thought we should have. And it turns out now that I've been watching things, I think it's really not affecting prices, or even prices are still going up more than expected. So based on some other places that sold in our area, I think we kind of missed out a little bit on price, and I think we underpriced it a little bit. Now we did get well over asking, like tens of thousands of dollars over asking, and a lot of offers, and I'll get into that in a second. But I feel like we got so far over asking because we were priced like a little too low. But again, hindsight's 2020. We're still really happy with the price we got for our home, and it's one of the, like in our neighborhood, it's one of the highest prices anyone has got for a home in that neighborhood in the last few years. So we still did well, but I think prices are just continuing to rise and rise faster than anyone was expecting them to. So we may have left some money on the table. If I hadn't known what other people were selling their houses for, I would have been very happy with what we got for our house. Now that I've been watching some other houses, I'm like, did we do as well as we could have? But you know, it's done, so there's nothing we can do about it now. So I do feel like my realtor did help with pricing, and it was just a really hard time to know what the market was gonna do, because with rising interest rates, we were seeing people having to cut their price, and we didn't wanna be in a situation where our house was on the market for a long time. We just wanted it to be like a weekend or a week, price it reasonably, hopefully get a bunch of offers and go from there. So that's what we did. We put it on the market on a Wednesday. and we were gonna have snow that weekend, and so our realtor suggested to not have any showings during the week, put it on the market, get some interest over a few days, and then have an open house on the weekend. But because of the snow, we decided not to do the open house. We decided just to do showings that were booked. So we had to leave Saturday and Sunday for, I think it was 4 hours both days, and we had right away, all the spots were filled for the whole weekend. Within like 48 hours, all the spots were filled for showings. So we had a lot of showings. We had like 20 showings, I think, over the course of that weekend. And then we set a deadline for Monday for offers, and we got 9 offers. So again, did we get 9 offers because it was priced right and it's just really competitive, or did we get 9 offers because it was a little too low? I don't know, but we got 9 offers and 4 of them were cash, which was very exciting because when you're dealing with cash, then you don't have to worry about somebody's financing falling through. Of the offers, there were 3 that were really high. The highest one was actually financing, and then the next highest was cash, and it was such a small difference between those two. We didn't consider the highest offer because we wanted to go with cash offers. The 2 highest cash offers, there was a significant difference, like the number 2 and number 3 highest offers were both cash, and there was a significant difference between those two. The number 3 offer waived inspection, and the number 2 offer, which was the highest cash offer, had an inspection, but for information only. And so I hadn't heard of that, and I guess what it means is they do an inspection, and if they find anything in the inspection, this was written in their offer, that would cost more than $2,500 to repair, they have the right to withdraw their offer without having to lose any money because they had put up $1,000 with their offer. So they wouldn't lose that $1,000, they could back out of the deal and walk away. So when we talked to our realtor, she said, you know, with these information only inspections, you know, they say they can't ask for anything, but sometimes they will ask you to fix things. And if you want them not to walk away, then you can make a decision whether you're willing to negotiate and fix something. So the difference between the 2 highest cash offers was about $20,000. And so we decided to run the risk of having an inspection and hoping that nothing came up that was more than $20,000. And there were a few small things that came up, and we ended up negotiating with her to fix some things for about $5,000. And so we did put $5,000 into our house, but again, it wasn't that $20,000, so we were still getting more than we would have if we just went with the no inspection offer. So it was helpful to have the realtor help us walk through that process and like weigh the pros and cons of the different offers. When we got all the offers on that Monday, our realtor put them together in like a spreadsheet with analysis about each offer and her recommendations of like which ones we should consider. So that was super helpful, especially having not gone through that before. And we did end up accepting that offer of the highest cash offer. We did the repairs, and closing went through no problem. We got to close on the date that we had chosen, that was our preferred date, and it was just, you know, easy. That nothing came up in the meantime. Like, we got the repairs done, we sent the receipts over to our realtor like a week before the closing, and closing went through no problem. Now, one thing I would probably do in the future, which we didn't do this time, which hopefully we won't be selling a home, maybe once or twice more in our lives, but hopefully not more than that, but cleaning the place before we closed took a lot longer than we thought. So our lease on our apartment started on a Monday, and then we moved out on that Wednesday, so 2 days after our lease started. And then the following Monday, so 1 week after our lease had started, we closed on our house. So we did have like that weekend to clean, and we probably spent maybe 8 to 10 hours over that weekend between me and my husband. We took turns. One of us would stay with the kids and the other one would go to the house and clean, and then we'd switch. And we each had like, you know, things that we were better at. My husband's better at like scrubbing with the elbow grease, and I'm better at like the details. So we split things up, and he scrubbed the fridge and the bathrooms and stuff like that, and then I did all the patching and painting of all the holes and made sure like all the details were clean, and like dusting windowsills and stuff. And I don't think we had to really go to that extent, but I knew how I would want it if I was buying a new house, and so we just really wanted to make it nice for the new buyer. And we thought if we made it really nice, if there was any like little thing that was not quite right, maybe she would like let it go and just the closing would go smoothly, which is what happened. We also bought her flowers, and we wrote her a nice little note. So, you know, we thought that was a nice touch to welcome her to her new home and let her know how much we had loved it as a home. So that's how the process went. In our state, the money goes through same day. So the closing attorney for the sale wired it right to our bank account, our checking account that day. As it turns out, it's such a small world. The attorney who represented the buyer was an attorney that I knew because I used to work for her at my firm that I worked at before I left practice as an attorney, and I didn't have to interact with her at all. Nice woman, but just not somebody I wanted to have a conversation with. But yeah, small world. So anyway, so that's what the process was like for us. For me, the most stressful parts, I think, were setting the price, because you want to hit the sweet spot. At least I think you don't want to go too high and have your house sitting on the market for a long time and like drag out the process. And then people think like, why isn't it selling? What's wrong with it? And maybe get less for it overall, but you don't want to price it too low. And then you don't get, you know, what it's worth out of it. And then just the showings, having strangers in your home. You know, I set everything up a certain way and I saw chairs removed and toilets were open that had been closed before. And just knowing that like random strangers were in your home using your bathroom and like sitting in your chairs, it was just like kind of dehumanizing in a way. So but overall, we made it through, and we are now in our apartment. We've got that cash in the bank, and we have set some aside to pay off the rest of our debt, and we are super happy that we made this move. So let me answer your questions about the home sale. First one is tips for moving. We just bought our first house. Congratulations on buying your first house. Tips for moving: get rid of as much as you can. First of all, like declutter ruthlessly. And if it's something you haven't used while you've been living at your current place, highly consider getting rid of it. If it's something you could replace for under $25 that you haven't used, get rid of it. Utilize Facebook Marketplace as much as you can for bigger things that you want to sell. The rest, don't worry about it, just donate it. You've got enough on your plate with moving, like you're not going to maximize selling every little thing, and you're going to be glad you didn't bring more stuff than you needed to your new place. The other thing I would suggest is pack early. Pack as much as you can, as early as you can. Do it slowly over time. I did a few boxes a day, basically for like a month. And at the end, maybe the last couple of days, I packed like 10 to 15 boxes, but most of the stuff I had just packed slowly over time. And, you know, I went through the kitchen once. I'm like, what's things in the kitchen that I'm not going to need in the next month? Okay, I don't need like this extra baking dish or whatever. I'm not going to bake a cake in the next month. And like pick out things you're not going to use. And, you know, okay, it's spring, I'm not going to need all these winter coats. Let me pack all this, and just go through things that you don't think you're going to need until moving day. The other tip I would give is, for moving, pack like an overnight bag for anyone in your home, you know, like you're going on a trip. So toiletries and pajamas and several days of outfits, and make your life easy so you're not searching for underwear like the first morning you wake up in your new place if you haven't gotten everything organized. So hope that helps, and good luck with your move. Were there any unforeseen expenses you encountered throughout the selling process? I mean, I didn't think we'd need to put money into our place to sell it. I just didn't think we were gonna have to do that. But because of how the offers came through, we decided to not risk the cash offer walking away over $5,000 when her offer was $20,000 higher than the next person. So we decided to put that money into the, you know, repairs. It was maintenance on the HVAC and maintenance on the hot water heater, and those were the repairs we had to do. So yeah, it's good to have cash on hand, even if you think you're not going to need it. What percent did you send to realtors? I think their fee was 5%, but they split it with the buyer's like real estate broker or whatever. I don't know the difference between realtor, real estate agent, real estate broker, so I'm just using those terms interchangeably, but I think it was 5%. I'd have to look back, but I'm pretty sure it was 5%. What is worth doing to your house before selling for the max return? Our realtor said basically don't do anything to it unless it's like a safety hazard, because the real estate market in our area is so crazy that like it's just not even worth updating. But we also had a very new place. Ours was only, I think, what was it, 9 years old or so when we were selling it. So we had granite countertops, we had hardwood floors, like, you know, but we had old carpets that needed replacing. Like we had kids and we lived there for 6 years. Like there was stains all over it and they were just not in good shape. We didn't replace any of that. We didn't really do anything. But I think it probably depends on how old your house is. Okay, just looking at your questions. I think that pretty much covers it. Some of these are questions that I'm gonna answer in other videos, or I've already answered in other videos. Like the difference between costs of owning and renting. I did make a video, it might be up before this or after this, but soon you'll see a video about the difference between what we're paying as homeowners versus renters. So watch out for that. So yeah, I think that's it. That's what it was like for us selling our home in 2023. Thinking about buying is making me stressed already. I don't want to go through it. We did sign a 15-month lease here, so we are here at least through next summer, unless we break it early, which we can do for the cost of 2 months rent, which would be about $6,500. So if you found the perfect house at the perfect price okay, my memory card ran out of room. But what I think I was saying is if we found the perfect house and put in an offer and it all like happened, we would consider breaking our lease early, but I just don't see that happening because I just don't think we're financially ready to put down the down payment that we'd want and have our income at the level we want to become homeowners again. But we're happy in this apartment for now, much happier than I thought we would be. It's great so far, and so I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, we'll see what the future brings. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other questions about selling a home that I didn't cover in the video, put it in the comments. I love to talk to you guys in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.